We're going to work some attacks from side control top using the underhook. So I'm here with Jack. I have my chest to chest connection, crossface and underhook. I'm going to start isolating his left arm. So the way we do this is we connect the wrist to the shoulder and then we wrap our hand. So we have a false grip, so the same grip that a gymnast might use. I bring my left elbow over to the far side of his head and then I connect his I connect his head to my knee. I'm going to pull Jack up on his side. When I pull him up on his side, I tuck my right elbow in towards my belly button and I drop my shoulder onto his elbow, which connects to his hip. So this will make it very hard for him to take out his arm. And I'm also like pulling Jack's shoulder towards my chest to keep his back off the mat. So once we get his back off the mat and we have this arm trapped, we step our left leg over, we keep our right hand in place, and I swim my left hand through. I'm going to go elbow deep on both arms. Once my left arm goes through, I take out my right arm and I pin my right hand onto his wrist, and then we lock up our figure four grip. I'm going to keep my chest on his tricep. You can see that I'm on my right knee and left foot. I'm just going to turn that around the opposite way. So I'm going to go to left knee, right foot, and then I look to the opposite side. Still keeping that chest connection on his tricep and his elbow. So what we want to do is we want to get our left leg over his body for our first attack, which is going to be the armbar. So I open my knee up and I drop to my hip to the outside. So I drop to my right hand side. The hamstring is on his head. This makes my left leg light, and then I can cross my feet and then we can go into different types of armbar attacks. So I have my crossface and underhook. I'm going to get my false grip. I grip my partner's shoulder. I bring my left elbow to the far side and then I connect Jack's head to my knee here. So this will allow me to set up different types of attacks. So say for example, I'm looking for like kimuras and arm bars on this side. If Jack at any stage maybe lifts his head up, we can go into different types of submissions from here on the neck as well. So I'm going to pull Jack towards me, taking his left shoulder off the mat. Once I do this, I tuck my right elbow in towards my belly. I connect my shoulder to his elbow and then his elbow to his hip. So this isolates the arm and then buys me a lot of time. I step the left leg over. I bring my left arm through in front of my right arm. So I'm going to go elbow deep on this. Once this happens, you can see that my left hand is flexed, so I can kind of trap his arm on the inside. I take out my right hand, pin the wrist, and then we lock up our figure four grip. So I'm facing over towards my left hand side. I'm on my right knee. I'm going to switch to my left knee and look over to my right hand side. Still keeping that connection with my chest. I want to get some connection here now with my hamstring. So the way I do this is I drop my knee to the outside and I put the hamstring onto his head. This makes my left leg light, and then we can go into different attacks on the arm. We're going to do the same setup as we did on our first one. So we did our far side armbar from side control. So again, I get my false grip, cup the shoulder, bring my left elbow onto the far side. I pull Jack up onto his side, and when I do this, I tuck my right elbow in towards my belly button, and at the same time I connect my shoulder to his elbow and then his elbow to his hip. I step my left leg over, so now I'm facing down towards his legs. I bring my left arm in front of my right arm. Really important detail here, I'm going elbow deep, so the crease of the elbows on the inside of Jack's arm. Once I get this, I take out my right arm, I grab his wrist with my right hand, and then I lock up a figure of four. I'm on my right knee and left foot. I'm going to go to my left knee and right foot and then look to my right side here. I want to get my connection with the hamstring on top of the leg. So what I do is I open up my knee and I drop the hamstring to the outside. This makes my left leg light, and I can bring my left leg over where we can start attacking our arm bars. Sometimes in these transitions, what your training partner is going to look to do is clear the crossface leg and then maybe try like free their elbow, spin back to guard and so on. So once we feel our partner clearing the crossface leg, so if he clears it, I fall down to my left hip here. I put my right heel into his like right pec, or just like above his shoulder. We go wrist to wrist, gluing his forearm to our chest. We roll to our right hand side. I use my right hand to control his arm, and I use my left hand to grab my own shin. Left foot goes to the floor and I hip escape. I'm trying to bring my right elbow as close as I can to his right shoulder here. Once this happens, we get our shin roughly parallel with our training partner's shoulder line. We lock up our triangle, we have active feet here, and we're trying to pinch our knees together to get the finish. I bring my training partner up on his side, bring my right elbow in towards my belly button, shoulder connects to the elbow connects to the hip, step my left leg over, I pummel my left hand inside, so we've left elbow deep, right elbow deep. Once this happens, I take my right hand out and I pin his wrist with my right hand. We lock up a figure of 4, and I'm going to switch my weight from my right knee to my left knee. So now I look to my right hand side, still trying to keep my chest connected to his shoulder and his tricep the best I can. So I have weight on my left leg. I want to take the weight off my left leg, and I want to get connection with my hamstring on top of Jack's head here. So it falls to my left hand side, and this allows us to bring our left leg over. A lot of the time your training partner is going to try clear this cross-face leg. When you feel this happen, we can roll down to our left hip, throw my right leg into his shoulder. We go 2 palms facing ourselves, gluing the forearm to our chest, rolling over to our right hand side. I use my right hand to control, left hand to adjust the triangle. So I put my left foot to the floor and I start hip escaping, where I'm looking to get my right elbow as close as I can to my training partner's right shoulder. Once we get our shin roughly parallel with our training partner's shoulder line, we can lock up the triangle with active feet and then try bring our knees together as close as we can to get the tap. I connect my shoulder to his elbow and his elbow to his hip, so my head is leaning down towards his legs. So this makes it a lot easier as well for me to step my left leg over his head as well, because there's less weight on my left foot. So I pummel my left hand through. We go elbow deep. I get my figure 4 grip. I start to go from my right knee to my left knee, and I turn to my right hand side. I open up my knee. I drop my hamstring on my training partner's head, and I bring my left leg over. If Jack clears the leg off his head and he starts to turn into me, I'll fall to my left hand side and I'll put my knee behind his shoulder blades. And then I start to bring Jack up towards me. I put in my second hook. I get my chest square with my training partner's back. My hips are lined up with my training partner's hips. I still have my figure 4 grip. What we do is we open up our right elbow and then we go into our seat belt, where we can start attacking from here. So we bring our training partner up in their side. I tuck my right elbow in towards my belly. Shoulder connects to the elbow, elbow connects to the hip. You can see now my weight is mostly on my right leg, so it makes it easy for me to step my left leg over. Pummel my left hand through, elbow deep. We get the grip on the wrist, we lock up our figure of 4. I switch from my right knee to my left knee, look towards my right hand side, open up my knee and hip, put my hamstring on my training partner's head. Left leg is now light, so we can go into our armbar attacks. But let's say before we manage to cross our feet, Jack clears the leg off his head, he starts to turn into me, so I put my knee behind his shoulder blades and I fall to my left hip. And I'm going to bring Jack as close as I can towards me. So all I'm doing is bring my knee up towards my chest here. I put in my second hook and I start to get as square as possible. So hips are lined up with my training partner's hips, chest is lined up with my training partner's shoulder blades. We open up our right elbow and then we loop the seat belt over our training partner's head, where we can start to go into back attacks.